Hi, I'm Jeff Zeig. I'm the founder and the director of the Milton Erickson Foundation. This is Jeff Zeig in New York at the scene of the 50th masterclass that I've done in the last 15 years. And this is an opportunity for another 5-minute video. In this particular sequence, we've been exploring the idea of gift wrapping, which is one part of the meta model. And most recently, we've explored tasks. Now I'm going to go into a little more detail on one of the tasks, an incongruent task that you might decide to use in psychotherapy, and that's a task of symptom prescription. Now, this has a very, very long history, and it's something that has been used in many human endeavors, not only in psychotherapy. But in psychotherapy, we could say that this started with Viktor Frankl, who was using paradoxical intention. So let's say that the client was suffering from social phobia. Viktor Frankl might instruct the person, you're afraid of meeting women. What I'd like you to do is go to the party that you're scheduled to go to, fill 2 champagne glasses to the brim, and walk through the party, find a woman who's especially attractive to you, go up to her, and you'll be shaking, spilling champagne all over yourself. When you finally get up to her, stumble, spill the champagne all over yourself. Better a moment of horror than horror without end. Now, the idea was that the person would not do the task, but that it would stimulate humor, and humor would block the anticipatory anxiety. Now, when we move into the realm of symptom prescription, that's a little bit different. Let's say that the problem is depression. We've discussed the fact that you divide a problem into component parts. Being internal, not having goals, being hopeless, acting as a victim of life, being inactive, being negative. These are all components. And so you don't prescribe depression, but you might prescribe a component. Like, this week I'd like you to practice being more internally preoccupied. Now, that's really not a sufficient symptom prescription. So one thing that we might want to do is to create a context and a time for that to happen. This week, I'd like you to sit in your garden for 20 minutes in the morning and be internally preoccupied. Now, that in itself is not a significant symptom prescription, because we might want to add to that a motivation, a reason for doing the task. I'd like you to sit in the garden, your garden, for 20 minutes in the morning, and I would like you to go inside yourself and ruminate on all of your problems, because the pearls can be found in the mud. Give the person a reason for carrying out that task. Now, truthfully, that one thing that could be done is to use a little irony. Don't make fun of the person, but you can make fun of the problem. I'd like you to sit in the smallest room of the house in the morning for 20 minutes, and seated in the smallest room of the house, I want you to go inside yourself and be preoccupied with all of your thoughts of doom and gloom for 20 minutes, because sometimes in order to leap forward, you have to pull back. Again, giving a motivation. Now, there's something ironic about sitting in the smallest room of your house and thinking about all of the crap in your life. Now, when you use a symptom prescription, it's really important that you follow through and that you are finding out from the client what is the client's experience. When you're doing a symptom prescription, you've made an assessment about whether this person is compliant or defiant. If you use a symptom prescription for a compliant person, it's because you want them to do the assignment, because most symptoms have an automatic dissociative aspect. They just happen. My depression just falls down into my lap. So with a compliant person, when they do the symptom prescription, they get control. With a defiant person, when you give a symptom prescription, that may create a paradox, because their need for autonomy is so great that they will rebel against the prescription into some pattern that is more healthy that can be built on. So those are some ways of thinking about a specific gift wrapping task, symptom, prescription. This is Jeff Zeig. Here I am in New York with another 5-minute tip about how can you be a better therapist. Thank you.